All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Final segment of today's Steve Malzberg Show tomorrow. Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council will be here, and Reince Priebus will be here, the head of the RNC. We're very happy to announce, and a cast of thousands. So tune in tomorrow, 3 to 6 Eastern, on the Steve Malzberg Show. Okay, there is a push out there now to ease the 30-year-old blanket restriction or ban on blood donations from gay and bisexual men. And a federal panel is going to hear results of the latest research on this. Joining us now, by the way, the findings will be released, and growing pressure from politicians and advocates, including college students, to change the policy may have an effect. Joining us now is Evan Hurst, a gay activist from Truth Wins Out. Hello, Evan. How are you?
I'm great, Steve. How are you?
Make sure you say hello to my buddy Wayne Besson, the head of your organization. We go way back.
I absolutely will when I speak to him.
Okay, and we talk quite often on this show. Okay, here's the deal. Explain to me why we should end this ban on blood donations from gay and bisexual men.
Well, actually, what I find that most of the advocacy organizations are saying, and definitely what our perspective is that it's not necessarily something that just needs to be flat out ended, but all of the professional associations like the American Medical Association, the National Hemophilia Foundation, all of the people who are really examining the science are saying that what we have right now is inadequate and doesn't really cover the real issues. That by saying that gay bisexual men, period, shouldn't be able to donate blood, not only are you taking a lot of people out who would be healthy donors, and you're also failing to really screen for some of the other high-risk behaviors that should be screened for.
So what are you advocating? How do you fix that then?
What you do is you focus on screening out high-risk behavior in general, because what we have right now is a situation where somebody can be can take every blood test you give them, and they can know that they're a quality donor, but because they're a gay man, because they're in a monogamous relationship, they're just cleared right out, and that's not fair to not just LGBT people. It's not fair to their families.
Well, I don't know why it's not fair. I don't know that you have a right to give blood. I mean, what do you mean it's not fair to them or their families? What does that mean?
It's not that it's a right, but let me just give you a scenario here. I'm HIV negative. I come from a generation where we were surrounded by safe sex and use a condom every time. And let's just say somebody in my family needed a blood donation, and I was the only one who was eligible, who was a match. Well, I would have to lie for them to be able to let me donate blood. That's what I'm saying is not fair. And
well, I don't have a problem. Well, that's ridiculous, because what they should do in that case is if it's a matter of donating to a specific person at the behest of that person, then they should test your blood for compatibility if it's for a disease, God forbid, and also to make sure your blood is clean. But for general donations into the general blood bank population, here are the latest statistics from the CDC. The number of gay and bisexual men in the U.S. who said they have had unprotected anal sex at least once in the past year jumped from 48% in 2005 to 57% in 2011. The CDC says it's cause for concern due to the high risk of being infected with HIV while having unprotected anal sex. Gay and bisexual men account for almost 2/3 of new infections, as well as half of all the people in the U.S. who currently have HIV. They also said there's a steady rise in new infections in recent years, concentrated mainly among young gay and bisexual men. So why on earth would we allow that into the general population? Now, you say a monogamous relationship, and this goes for heterosexual and bisexual and homosexual couples. You may be monogamous, and you may think your partner's monogamous, but you don't have any guarantee that your partner didn't have an affair the day before or the week before or the month before. You can't swear to that on your life or be sure. So you could have slept with them and then give blood, think you're in a monogamous relationship, and if he had anal sex, there's a chance you might have I mean, this is ridiculous. We're even talking about this.
Well, can I jump in real fast?
Yeah, sure.
You were talking about high-risk behaviors that have nothing to do with, first of all, the average blood donor. Just think about for a second.
Really? How do you know what the average blood donor does? What are you talking about?
Think about who donates blood. It's usually people who are responsible, who know that they're healthy. Those are the people who go to the Red Cross to actually donate blood. You're talking about 20-year-old, and we need to be very clear that those statistics on HIV, those are terrifying, but it's among very young gay men mostly. And so to take the fact that there is a growing crisis, which I would ask you and your listeners, what are you doing to help, with that? Because we think it's a crisis. We hate it. We
wait. I should be doing something to stop gay men from having unprotected anal sex. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying to help with the education, of these younger people who no longer think that HIV or AIDS is a death sentence. So no, we're not.
I think it's incumbent upon the gay community to get that message out.
And we're doing that. But honestly, the fact of the matter is that your listeners.
Look, everybody in school is taught don't have unprotected sex. Everybody in school is taught of the dangers of sexually transmitted diseases. I mean, I don't know what you want, a federal program to educate people against unprotected anal sex? Look, unfortunately, Evan, we're out of time. I hope you'll come back and continue this because I think it warrants more talk. Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax.